Welcome everyone to another episode of Followers of Mayhem. In the last episode, I believe there was a lot of planning and... oh yes, a plant came to life.
It talks.
Hello.
Oh.
So you might notice a few people are missing. They've decided not to play today, but that's fine. So, by this point, Volt, you have awoken. Kagura.
Mhm.
Hey.
Did I get here at a bad time?
No,
Hi.
I just thought you were in here and forgot to check you were in here. Weird thing. You know, there's a lot of people. You good?
Yeah, I'm launching the game right now. I'm launching the game
Yep.
now.
Alright. Well, while you do that, everyone else. So, by this point, Volt, you've awoken and found yourself in the demi-plane. You're free to wander around at your leisure. Give me a second. You're free to wander around at your leisure, and everyone else, you're also free to do what you wish to do. We will go down the list one at a time so everyone can get a chance to do their thing. However, we will start with Volt because he wasn't here last week. That sound fair?
Mhm.
Alright.
Actually, he started up rebooting after his sentry rest. That's a thing for a Warforged.
Okay.
He doesn't need to sleep. So yeah, he actually starts tinkering away on some things right in the middle of the table. This table here. And looks around while wondering where he is.
Does anyone wish to talk to him?
Where is he? Right? Or is he?
He's at the table.
Oh. Okay. Back to the world of the living.
My Kagura. Well, I'm unused to where I am right now. I normally am on a boat or travel on the water or somewhere else with my master, but he's not around, so I'm stuck here now.
This is a house we keep in the demi-plane. It's probably the safest place in all of Mayhem right now.
Demi, what now?
Demi-plane.
Oh,
A pocket dimension.
so pretty much like a bag of holding?
Something like that. Except you don't suffocate in it.
Oh, right. I'm rusty. Your living things need to breathe, and I don't need to.
It sounds like being a warforged comes with its pros and cons, huh?
I would say so. So, who belongs to this place? Or
I was taking my medicine.
it's fine. So, who belongs to this place to?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that it belongs to Elnath. He's pretty much here all the time. I'm these days anyway, so might as well be his.
Okay, and that enough guy is the head of the group that you're traveling with, or?
He's he's more like the he's more like the force that brought us all together other in the background.
Huh. I see. Still, can't believe it has been so long since I was last active.
You said 30 years, right?
More or less. Like I said before, the last thing I saw was a young black kangaroo.
Well, from what I hear, he's dead now, so you won't be seeing him again.
That's good to know. Except my master's gone, so...
Yeah. I'm sorry that he couldn't have been taken. Cleaver couldn't have been taken care of sooner.
Funny thing is, while Wood is talking with Kagura, was he still tinkering away? Kinda like multitasking.
Alright. Anyone else got anything they want to do?
Yeah. I'd say Alex is just coming out of his room, study wherever he happens to be. What was that?
Oh, I just said right.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, he comes out of his room and halfway between like what it seems like he's still reading a book, he kind of realizes something, slowly turns his head and just looks up to the towering man of metal next to him. Oh, hello there!
His head turns around towards him. Hello, half dragon? Half human?
Human. I just have extra dragon bits.
Okay.
He wasn't born with those.
Ah, warlocks then. Am I right?
In fact, he didn't have any of that when I first met him.
So definitely a warlock then.
Yeah. My patron's a dragon, so yep.
Only you guys can change. We metalheads don't change much if we do go that path. Or we're programmed for that path.
I mean, I don't exactly know what you are. I mean, this almost kind of looks like those weird... No offense, but sorry. I don't think I caught your name. What did you say your name was?
Wood.
Vault?
Wood.
Like... okay, Volt. Okay. No offense to you. No offense to you, Volt, but you do kind of almost look like the same kind of machinery that Vierna was piloting around when she helped us that one time.
Well, might have been someone that might have been an artificial who created it. I was created by one after all. My master was one.
I mean, cool. Sorry, it's just this is a whole new realm of like weird stuff that's just suddenly dumped on me. Like, first it was the doctor's weird stuff or whatever the hell that was. Then Vierna comes walking in with these metal spiders, and then you. It's just, did the world suddenly jump like several thousand years in the future, and I'm not aware of it?
If it did, then we wouldn't be here.
I would probably have rust all over my metal body, or have defunctioned, or been decommissioned by now. Because I don't know how long I'm going to live. Could be just a month, could be a year, could be however long.
Well, assuming things work out, you'll have. Assuming things work out, you'll have another 500 years ahead of you at the very least.
That means I have to seek someone immortal out to keep my sanity in check.
Well, there is Sashala.
Sasha Wu?
The god of the ocean?
Oh, yes, I know. It's just been too long to hear his name. Or her?
He's actually he's actually helped us he's actually helped us quite a bit in the past. In fact, one of our companions is a cleric in his faith.
Interesting. He is pretty much the god that we always hope on good weather during the sea whites, or whatever you would call it then.
I suppose it is thanks to him that the farmlands on this island get good harvest. So,
I mean, next to all the magic. I mean, let's be honest. Like, it's a combination of him and pretty much everyone knowing magic in some way, shape, or form.
By now, has Wood finished tinkering on his thing? It turns out that he tinkered on a shield. Wow.
What you working on there?
Oh, this? I just enchanted the shield. You know, a little bit of more defense.
You can just do that?
Let's just say my master used to do that, and I kinda got it in my subroutines.
So if effectively you learned it from him.
If you call it that way, then yes.
I mean, that's kind of crazy, you gotta admit. Usually it takes, like, what, 1,000 gold or so to get an enchantment like that?
Oh. Well, it's trial and error, and the resources you need. Besides, from what Master always told me, life is always crazy and upside down. You never know what comes and goes.
So, you got any plans for what it is you want to do? I mean, you're hanging around here, so I'm guessing you're intending to help us?
If it's the least I can do, and not being stuck around here, then maybe it is. Also, who's that guy? He points at Dennis. And why does he look like he got it all over his face instead of Kagu? He almost fell back to his old ways, calling Kagu his liege.
He's Henge Yokai. I was too, but it turned out I'm something completely different.
Wood looks first to Kara's tail, then Dennis' tail. Huh.
He is more than me.
That I can see, but it's still violent.
It's a long and strange story, if we're being honest.
He started with one. Then he just grew some more.
Well,
Thankfully,
everything is... Sorry.
thankfully, and unfortunately, my temper grew along with them, but that was taken care of, thanks to Elnath.
I see. Well, things are always strange, so I've come to accept the term that everything can be strange.
Well, there's certainly. Well, we've certainly seen our fair share of strange stuff.
I mean, you never really know. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll probably be seeing a lot more strange things come to my my activation duration.
I mean, sorry to wax philosophical, but you really don't know how strange the world is until you really, get in there, so to speak. Until you, start seeing the entire world.
Well, have you seen a metal thing like me on a boat, for example?
Not really. Closest I've ever seen was whatever contraptions that doctor made and this stuff Vierna was soldiering in on.
Well...
Wait, wait, you're telling me the doctor had one of those things?
Well, not one of whatever vault here is. But
I'm talking about Vierna.
Fiona had the spider robots, and the doctor had the big giant mechs. That's what Alex is referring to.
I know, but I'm saying this in character. Remember, Kagura wasn't there when they fought the doctor.
Yeah. Well, let me just put it like this. The doctor, he had these giant, what basically kind of looks like a more giant and kind of, I guess, clunkier version of what a vault here is.
Here, Dennis says, he comes over and shows Kagura notes he has taken about said object.
This looks to me like a golem.
I mean, kinda. If you squint at it. Though it took like about 5 to 6 people to pilot.
Pilot?
Yeah, he... basically, in order to kind of get him out of Grimlock, we basically had to fight him in one of those things.
Okay, this is what's imagination to hear that. He thinks of a giant metal warforged and 5 of the living people being in the limbs and the head.
So wait, you're telling me that this golem of his rather than simply fighting alongside you on its own, you had to control it from the inside?
Yes, it didn't have any minds of its own.
That sounds awfully. I don't know.
Dangerous.
Well, I was gonna say a primitive way of handling golems. I mean, look at the ones that we have at the palace. If anyone shady came along, they could take care of it on their own. We'd even be none the wiser.
Well, if I understand these things correctly, if someone shady came by and there was no one inside, they could just take it.
Sorry, guys, somebody's coming into my room.
That's fine. I'll be right back.
Did you at least hear what I said, though?
Yeah, we heard it, Dennis.
Okay, just double
So, while those guys are quietly discussing things, Alex and anyone else who glances behind them would notice a familiar white-haired figure poking her head around the corner and looking towards them.
Oh, hey there. Alex turns around and smiles to her.
Hello.
Emerald. I didn't know you were here.
You also notice that her eyes are now blue.
What happened to your eyes?
They turned this color after Elnath gave me what he called it, a treatment.
Treatment?
Ah, he ripped the anger out of her, apparently. That's what I'm guessing.
Wait, he didn't say anything horrible to you, did he?
I don't really remember. I'm sorry.
That sounds about right.
I mean, it seems like she's alright now, so that's good.
Yeah. Nami he is slowly sidling over from the table over to the two when Kagura sees her out the corner of his eye and so, "Can I help you?" "No one told me there was a fluffy princess too."
She's certainly got a
Well,
little
to be
happy.
fair, there is also a fluffy queen, but the king is not fluffy. And I would recommend not feeling the fluff of the queen unless you want to feel the wrath of several other people.
Emma, seeing this strange person she's never met before, walk up to her and speak in a creepy whisper, turns and immediately runs downstairs.
As she should.
Emmy, wait! Damn it, Nami! You're human now. Shouldn't you be able to talk normally? But you guys are cute.
To be fair, it takes a good while to learn a language.
Wait, that doesn't matter. You shouldn't talk to us like we're animals. And Kagura runs after his sister.
You would find her in the kitchen, hiding behind maid.
Ruin looks confused because she was making stuff, and then all of a sudden she just sees a little white princess run in, and she goes, "Oh, hello, princess.
Scary lady.
You? Scary who?
Scary lady."
She met Nami. Saw her.
Wait, Nami? Not Vierna? Really?
Remember, you know how she's always calling me Fluffy King?
Yes.
Well, now she knows there's a fluffy princess.
I mean, is that a bad name?
Also, meanwhile, Flower, you have obtained a potato from one of your vegetable patch friends.
Potatoes.
Alright, back to the kitchen.
It's not so much what she said. It's more how she said it.
Oh. I mean, I'm pretty sure Nami didn't really mean it in a bad way. She doesn't quite seem... I mean, she's blunt, but I don't quite see her as being mean.
She talks about me and Emerald, like we're pets to be cuddled.
Scary. I don't. And Maid, of course, speaks up and then says, Don't worry, if she comes in the kitchen, I'll give her a wallop with a frying pan. Thank you.
Let's not resort to that, maid. we used to cook those, and some of them are hot, and I'd rather not cause a new comrade pain.
Especially now that she can actually feel it.
Of course.
Exactly.
Of course. Maid responds.
And then she looks. Rura gives her a look, and then looks back to Kagura with a small smile. She goes, "Well, I mean, she's kind of been an experiment her whole life, right? She's still learning a couple things, so she may not be the best at conversation. Trust me, I wasn't either when I got freed being a slave. I had no idea how to act, how to react. She just needs that social interaction, I guess."
I guess at the very least she ought to learn that there are better ways of punishing people who wrong you than straight up killing them.
She gives an uneasy smile. She goes, "Yeah, well, habits are hard to break. It took me a good couple years to break off a habit of being a slave, so it takes effort, but it's not impossible."
I suppose.
I'm
Well-
not trying to make light of your situation. I mean, if you don't like the name, then maybe it's probably best just let her know. Because I'm pretty sure with her character, she won't really know if you don't like it unless you actually tell her.
Right now I'm just worried about my sister.
Oh, of course. And then she looks over to Em and she goes, "Would you like me to make you something?"
If that's not too much trouble.
I was already kind of making food for everybody anyway. She looks a little confused. Though our new friend, I'm not too sure what he eats. If he does eat, maybe I should ask.
I'm not sure if he even can eat.
You hear Elnath
That's-
poke his head out and say, "It's AA batteries."
Double what?
What the hell are batteries?
And that's all you hear. He doesn't even explain what a battery is.
I guess I'll do some research. I mean, I would feel kind of bad if I didn't find a way to keep him fed. Even though, yeah, I have no idea what that is either.
It sounds to me like he's powered by magic. So I would think all he would need is Dennis.
Rura
Or
looks at him surprised. "You're not gonna feed him Dennis, are you?"
No. I mean Dennis has to. I'm saying Dennis has to be around to keep him awake periodically.
I mean, if you put the Dennis in the Warforged, you'd have an Iron Fox.
Oh my god.
Rura still looks skeptical. She goes, "We should ask him first, I suppose. I don't really like asking and assuming, but before succumbing Dennis to an unknown fate, it might be best to get our facts right first."
Fair enough.
Anyway, young princess, if you want to help me, I'll bake a couple things and you can assist. Would that cheer you up?
Lala?
I'm sorry, I completely forgot I was a girl. Don't take that out of context. Yeah, that would be. I mean, if it's not too much trouble.
No, of course not. And please don't mind what. Well, her name's Nami, not Scary Lady. Just so you know, princess. Don't mind what she says. She's had a very hard life, so it'll take her some getting used to.
Oh, alright.
If it'll help, I mean, you could We can always ask Nami to apologize later.
You see her shrink further behind, Maid at that.
Look,
Oh,
Em, look, Nami, Nami isn't a bad person. She just doesn't know how to talk to people yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure Rura and the others will work on that with her in due time.
Right,
They just haven't had the time.
right.
well, it also could help if you spend some time with her too, Your Highness. That's really weird to call you that. Can I not call you that, please?
You see her head lightly poke out from behind Maid, and she goes, Your Highness.
Oh. I mean, maybe it'll be better to call you that instead? Maybe you can tell Nami that? Even though to me it's kind of weird.
I say it to poke fun at him.
Poke fun? Oh, a joke! Okay, I get it.
Sorry.
Well, why don't we just introduce them, introduce her with her real name and start off from there. At the very least, she can prove to Emerald that she's not going to hurt her.
Of course she won't. And then Rura smiles to M and says, Nami's a nice person. She won't hurt anybody. She seems kind of scary and maybe say things that sound scary, but she's not.
Alright.
Rura, once you're finished cooking for Emmy, I need to talk to you.
Oh, okay. Is it serious or?
Maid speaks
Yes.
up and then says, You go, I'll cook for Emmy. I'll make her some cupcakes, she'll love them.
Oh, okay.
Shoo, shoo.
Thanks, maid.
Rura just kind of whined that she shooed out of the kitchen. But then follows Kagura. What's wrong?
I got a letter back from Judah.
Oh,
It turns out that the wind is pushing Cloudy in our direction, meaning they're going to be here within a few days.
she looks quite surprised at this and then looks downward thoughtful. Oh, really now?
And he brought up everything I said with the council, and they've reached an ultimatum. The older residents want to settle in Mayhem before it disappears, while the younger residents would like to stay in Cloudy Fir.
She looks shocked at this, gasping softly. They want to come here? I mean,
Well, Judah did say Mayhem was their home too.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not saying it's like to deny them, of course. They're free to do what they want. It's just I wasn't treated very well here, being in Aarakocra. I worry about those that decide to come down here that aren't used to Mayhem, or those in Mayhem that aren't used to us.
The people that used to deal with the people you used to have to deal with as an Aarakocra were either slavers or people willing to do business with them. I promise you, not everyone's the common folk will treat them the same way.
I know that. I know that now, but I just worry, that's all. I don't wish anybody to go through what I had to. I grew up mostly as a slave in my younger years. Just barely started tasting what freedom really felt like, and it's hard to think about going back, and I'd rather not, but I also rather not have somebody go through what I did.
They won't. I won't. No, I'll make sure, or that I'll make sure that the slave trade never, surfaces here in Mayhem again.
She looks to him closely and then gives a warm smile. She goes, "Back then, I probably wouldn't have believed you. Sorry, but now, though, since we're friends, I know you can. I have faith in you."
I'll try. I'll try to. I'll try to. Sorry. I'll do my best to prove worthy of that faith.
She nods, and then she slightly stands up straighter with a little bit more of a confident look as she goes, "I'm always here to help as well. I mean, who knows about Aarakocra better than Aarakocra?" And since some are apparently moving down here, they may not know the land as well, but I do. So I'll be glad to help you and have them adjust if some are very prone and actually dedicated to staying here when we move.
I could use your help. They're going to need a place to settle in, somewhere spacious, fresh water, safe from monsters. In fact, I'm actually already. Gerzura already asked me to handle that kind of thing with the Luxodon. So, I'll consider both matters at once.
Ura nods, and then she looks thoughtful. "I'm not as familiar with my race, though, since I grew up here and thought I was the only Aarakocra. Turns out I'm not. But Mr. Judah is coming to visit, right?"
He is.
"Good."
Judah,
And then she smiles.
but there's something I have to tell you about Judah.
Oh?
He said he's not coming with us.
Oh, she looks sad.
He says it's his duty, he as a cartographer, to it'd make more sense. It'd make more sense from if I think it'd make more sense if Alex explained it, since he's in the same line of work. But to quote what he said in the letter, he said, as he feels he must stay behind in order to fulfill his duty of creating the world map in this current age.
Ura still looks sad, but she still smiles, looking up to Kagra. "It's fine. I don't need an explanation. I mean, as sad as it is, since he's the first other Aarakocra I've ever met, and helped me realize, apparently, who I really am, which I still can't believe." She gives a conflicted look, and then she smiles. She goes, "I'm not too surprised he would decide to stay here. Alex, before meeting us, was very dedicated to his line of work. That was for sure. So I'm pretty sure Mr. Judah also shares that passion as well. So I'm not surprised he wants to stay. I'm sad, but I don't blame him."
I'm going to I might have to ask Elnath about what's going to happen in this time period once we're gone. Though, if the astral dragon dragons could potentially show up and kill them before we stop it, then we may end up having to bring them all with us after all.
She looks a little worried at this. "Well, it's not like a lot of people have a choice in this matter. We're taking this whole island, and not very many people know exactly what's going on besides a select few. But it might be best to talk to Elnath about it. Just in case, like you said, it's a good idea."
I'll think of something if it doesn't all work out. Hey, why don't we promise each other that if Judah really can't come with us, then we'll leave a letter. We'll place a letter somewhere where he can find it in the past. It'll probably be sitting there collecting dust for a few centuries. But if he does find it and gets to read it, then it'll be worth it.
Yeah, that sounds nice. She gives a sad smile. Still kind of sad that she's gonna miss him, but she understands. And she goes, "At least I'll be able to say bye to him real quick and to thank him for everything he's done. It's because of him that I found out where I came from. The fact that I'm not the only Arkakra, and when we got those reinforcements before too."
Yeah, he was a huge help with he was a huge help against Julay.
Mm-hmm. Only makes sense to properly say goodbye if he isn't really coming.
My thoughts exactly.
Still, thank you for doing that for me, Kagra, for sending him a letter. It really means a lot, especially for the fact that, well, she can't but giggle a little bit at this, and she goes, you're acting like a true king, trying to keep good relations with other nations."
Judah's a friend to me too, so I can't very well have us flake on him without a word, especially if we're not coming back.
Good king and a good friend.
So, as you open the door to the beach, you can see Elnath is currently reading an open letter with a mischievous smirk that you all know very well.
Uh-oh. Rurin narrows her eyes, noticing out loud. She goes, "My savior."
Should we know what exactly is in that letter?
He quickly slips it back into the envelope and seals it with a bit of magic, and then he says, "Oh, nothing. Do you need something?"
We got word back from the Arakakra that Cloudy Fur is going to be the wind is carrying Cloudy Fur over here, and they're going to be here in a matter of days.
Really, that seems out of the ordinary. That wasn't what I predicted.
From what I've been told, the older residents are planning to settle here in Mayhem, but the younger residents want to stay in Cloudy Fur. What I'm concerned about is what exactly is going to happen to them after we leave.
Well, Frozen would be the best place for those who wish to remain. As for those who wish to stay, well, they will remain behind.
So they're at no risk of the astral dragon in appearing and wiping them all out of existence.
There will be a Cloudy Fur there is already a Cloudy Fur that has been brought back in time. All of them already exist in that time.
So that includes Judah as well?
He nods.
That's I'll have to reserve my opinion on that till if or when we get to meet them.
He nods.
And
if that is all, I should get going. I've got a letter to deliver.
There is one more thing. Did you tear the astral dragon's blood out of Emmy?
Oh yes.
I see her because her eye color. She's gone back to her reserved self, and even her eye color has changed.
I wiped the memory of the event so it wouldn't scar her.
So you did say something to her to get the blood out.
Well, I had to. It's the only way to bring it to the surface. But I didn't want to scar her, so I put a small block on it, so you can always remove it with a scroll later on, once she is more mature. I don't
Well,
like using the spells, but would you rather her being scarred for life?
Well, if nothing else, I appreciate your consideration for her.
No problem at all. Now, I have a letter to deliver. And he begins to move out and upstairs, soon knocking on Grisera's door.
So I guess it might not be the last time we see Judah after all.
She looks a little relieved at this with a smile. She goes, That's nice. That's a nice thought. So long as, everything goes according to plan. She's a little nervous.
It won't be the same Judah, though. You know this.
She just gives a sad but warm smile, and she goes, I know. But the fact is that he's still here. I don't know. Gives me some sense of peace, I suppose.
Well, I'm sure if there's a version of him back there, Aaron, the adventures we've had are relatively the same. Going into each time loop, then there's a good chance he might know us.
Well, even if he does or doesn't, she just gives a soft shrug with a smile. It's always nice meeting people. Thanks to you all, I've come to learn that making friends can actually be very enjoyable. True friends. So even if he may not remember, the fact that I could meet him again and make new memories, I don't know, that makes me kind of happy.
Kagura smiles. I'm glad to hear you're being optimistic about all this.
And no offense, but I think compared to everybody around here, I think maybe I am the only one that tries. Only because I know that everybody else always tends to look at the bad side of things too sometimes.
Well, I've only ever. To be in my defense, I was kind of like you. I only ever saw the bad side of things, and of everything besides Emerald, and then I met you guys.
I understand that well too. Before, you all were just a job. No offense, especially you, Kagura, since my savior had sent me to make you go home by any means necessary. I now understand why, but back then, it was just a job that he assigned me to. Now, though, I've come to care for everybody very much. So I want to make sure that this time, after learning the truth about all this, that it is the last time.
Yeah, I hope so.
Alright.
She waves a finger at him. It will be.
So, while that conversation is going on, Elnath offers a letter to Grisera.
Grisera raises an eyebrow and takes the letter.
Actually, he offers two. Both are from Errol.
What?
Grisera is like, her eyes widen and quickly grabs the letter and looks at Eldath, trying to look for any signs of mischief on his face. They're not fake, are they?
Elnath gives an innocent smile and he says, "No, of course not." And
Insight
Let me roll.
Inside check.
I know, I'm getting his sheet up so I can roll deception. Let's see, there he is. And then we want to roll deception.
I don't
Epic
think you'll.
failure.
Yeah, so here's the funny thing. He also rolled a natural one. But his natural one is a 15.
Oh god.
Oh.
That's too OP.
Rip.
Dragons. But, yeah, he hands you the letters and he says, "Of course not."
Gazura totally believes him.
Alright. The first letter, if you open it, says this. Would you read it out to everyone?
Grizzly Bear, we should meet into combat once more. I have grown and believe it would be good fun. I will be around somewhere. The herd is there for trading. Errol. Okay, I don't care if that's gotta be the fake letter. Okay, and there's the second one.
Give me just a moment. Okay, it's ready. Sorry, I had to write it up. You want to read it out?
Sorry. Grizzle Bear. The distance makes my heart ache. I must love you. Come to me so that we may break and live together and have many elephant babies.
Oh no.
Gazura raises an eyebrow at Elnath. You sure these are not real? Are real?
100%.
At that moment, you feel something start. Elnath starts feeling something pull on his sleeve. Eve and Kana, Kana appears.
Oh, hello again, little mirror dragon.
Oh, bless you.
She is and she's looking at you. She's looking at Elnath with disdain, like she knows something.
Well, I have delivered the letters. I am going to head back to the beach now. Enjoy, Gazura.
Oh, a minute. I then motion the Mayor Dragon up onto my arm. Would you mind showing me where Aurora is doing?
The mirror dragon can't show areas like. Oh, can it? Let me look. I'm pretty sure it shows one area on its wings. But let me double check.
Oh.
Handouts. Or is it under pets? Yeah, here it is. Said ghosts seem to be moving around. Keen senses, limited telepathy. Send an attack. Yeah, it can't show. It doesn't have the scrying spell.
Oh, okay. Gazura is still looking at Elna suspiciously, but she pockets the letters and heads out of her room.
He heads on his way too, walking past Kagura and Rura with a satisfied smile.
Kana flies off after Elnath until she reaches Kagura.
Meanwhile, Gazura hands the letters to Alex. Can you see if these are fake or not?
Okay.
Oh,
Um,
Alex,
Mahem.
alrighty.
He's not proficient, so I wouldn't be able to add his proficiency bonus. Forgery kit is forgery dexterity or charisma? Maybe it's intelligence.
It's weird.
Brewer notices the look and she gives a suspicious look. She goes, "Uh-oh, he did something. I better go look."
Alright.
So should I roll an insight?
Yeah, roll an insight for me, and I'd say you have advantage because of how well you know Elnath.
Fair enough. That's a 19.
One of the letters is real and the other's definitely fake.
Can I tell which one, or is it just I
Yeah.
can kind of?
Yeah, you can tell it's the second one.
All right. Well. Good news. This one is real. He passes the real one off to Grisura.
The second letter?
It's about as fake as my sense of self-respect.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That's self-done.
Grisura just lifts up the first letter and is like, this is more believable than the other one.
I mean, to be honest, yeah. I mean, just look at it. Like you see how over the top it is, right?
Definitely.
Is there something important I need to be here for? Kana
Not really.
Kana insisted that I follow her.
I mean,
one letter
Elnath.
is real, one not.
It's just Elnath being Elnath, really. It's nothing that major.
Is that what those letters were for?
Yeah.
What
I
are
Wait.
knew it.
what are letters?
We
What
saw Elnath giggling at the beach while looking at a letter.
Well, to answer your question, Chester, a letter is what you send to someone, usually who is very far away, and you cannot really see them at this current point in time. Basically, it's kind of like what you want to say to them, but written down.
Like drawing. Okay.
Pretty much. Like drawing, but with words.
Words. Oh, I gotta learn how to read then. Okay.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, teaching a talking plant how to read.
Kagura, you've been in this game for like over a year now. Are you really surprised that this is the sort of thing that ends up happening to us?
I really should be expecting this by now, shouldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Brewer
let's
shakes
be
her
honest.
head.
Hey, in my defense, I haven't been here for the last couple of weeks. You know that.
Yeah, but I mean, well, Alex just points over to Volt. I mean, you know. Look, I don't mean to say you're weird or anything, buddy. It's just, like I said, I'm not used to all this.
Life. Always.
And you were just massive. Like, holy shit.
all just metal, nothing else. It just
Yeah,
takes a pretty strong dude to put a dent in me. And Alex pretty much knows someone who could do that.
I mean, anyway. So yeah, Elnath's just playing around as he is wont to do. Don't go hurting him or anything. He's just having fun.
Define fun, Riva says, rubbing her temples.
Oh, believe me, I want to hurt him. I just know he'll kill me 1,000 times over if I try.
Don't take this wrong with Gazura, but I would too, Riva says, holding up her hand.
I mean, you totally
I don't
could. Like, Rura, you know this, that Elnath's more of a barker than a biter.
Which is why I like to protect him. And why Maid and Butler also protect him too. There's a reason.
I mean, but hey, look on the bright side. This idea, you gotta let it back from one of your buddies.
Must be feeling nice. But I don't understand the current situation.
Oh yeah, that's right. We need to sit you down and explain everything, don't we?
Give me the long story short.
Alright, well, how do I explain it? World's going to end, and world's going to end, and we're going back in time to fix it.
Back in time? Oh god.
So we're getting our affairs in order. Before we do that.
We're bringing the island with us too.
Guess I'll be stuck with you guys then. And gods.
So,
and a plan.
Technically speaking, is the demi-plane part of the island? Dennis is thinking about this.
It's to do with the whole conceptualization of the demiplane, in that as long as you visualize the same place, it's exactly the same. It's outside of time.
Okay.
The only thing that Dennis heard about his questions that he spoke out loud, data not found.
Does he know this about dummy planes?
It's kind of
He
like
didn't know what a demiplane was.
Rura sees he looks really confused, and she'll go, well, at least before we do that,
Dennis is curious. He's going to go to the library.
Kagura told me that apparently my home continent, Codifer, will be coming close to Mayhem soon.
Oh yeah?
I heard about the legend of a city in the skies. But that was 30 years ago, so that it's true. My mother would have believed me.
Well, she lightly flaps her wings. I am an Aarakocra, and I just recently found out myself that I have a home in the sky. I didn't really know either. And so I'm another Aarakocra, which, by the way, Mr. Judah said he was going to come down and visit. Apparently, some Aarakocra actually want to come and live here in Mayhem.
I mean, that'd honestly be really cool. Because, I mean, imagine it, like, I mean, having people who can just fly at will without the use of magic, I mean, say for being at the whims of the wind, that would honestly be a big boon to, I think, many cities and towns.
Forgive me if I don't quite share your enthusiasm, Alex. I didn't really exactly have the best upbringing here.
I mean, I understand that. And you have every right to be worried because, I mean, bad people are going to do bad things.
To be fair... sorry. Continue on.
Alright. But, I mean, I hope at least that on these adventures we've had together, you've at least seen that there's more good people than bad. And if not necessarily good people, then people who don't want to hurt that just don't want to hurt people.
As I told Kagura before, the old me back then, before I met you all, would have not believed any of your words, but you've all taught me that there is actually a real thing as having friends and having family that are not blood relation. So I do believe you, and it's old habits die hard, but apparently a lot of them are older, so they may be more skilled in being able to survive. So I'm not too worried. I'm trying not to overthink it. It's just,
I mean, if I'm being honest with you, Aurora, this whole situation has me constantly overthinking. Because, I mean, sure, it's all magic and everything, and magic you can kind of understand if you know what you're doing, but it's all just, you know, it's magic that I don't think any of us is even that well versed in outside of Elnath, and even then, he has over 50,000 years of experience with it.
yes.
Stops in motion. 50,000?
Yeah, we've, believe it or not, we're not the first people to try and stop this. This has actually happened several thousand times before.
Okay.
We're just the latest iterations of ourselves.
Anyway,
It's even with all that experience, it's still time travel. If you were to ask me before we first visited Falma, I would have thought it was a joke. But now, after all of this, none of it is.
Hey guys! After some studying, I had an idea.
Yeah.
You see, from what I could tell, the demi-plane is technically outside of this dimension's definition of time.
Exists outside space and time, you mean?
More or less, yes. So what happens if we put a door on Cloudy Fur?
what?
It would eventually fall away because Cloudifer is constantly moving. So
So they would just need key.
So you would eventually just exit the door and drop into the ocean because Cloudifer's already drifted away on the winds. The doors are stationary and you also need a flat surface to put it on. And Cloudifer is made up of clouds.
Dang it!
I mean-
Foiled.
Yeah, it was a good idea, but yeah.
I mean, again, keep in mind that even though we all have keys, they do more or less lead to the same exit.
Anyway, the talk before that you had with the pretty Arakquakra. Did I call it right?
Yes.
We Warforged. It's what you all living beings call us. We also have such troubles. So I think I understand what the caution of yours.
She tilts her head curious about this, but then she gives a soft smile. She goes, well, thank you for your sympathy, and I apologize if you've also had a rough past, but I can assure you you're in good company. I can vouch for that, especially for somebody who didn't really believe friendship was real for a long time.
Oh, sympathy? Anyway, Masa and his friends were pretty much what you just said towards me, so it's good to have them again in other people and races and genders and
Yes. Speaking of friends, apparently they'll be coming here pretty soon in a couple days, so apparently I'll be able to see Mr. Judah again one more time because he's not coming with us.
that's okay. I mean, everyone got their own will after all, right?
Of course. I mean, he's very dedicated to his line of work, which apparently, as Kagura said, you can vouch for that, Alex.
A cartographer? Oh yeah, trust me. Like, sure, it seems like it's easy enough to do, right? But believe me, there is a lot that goes into making a map. especially a map that's very, very readable to everyone else.
Pretty much
mean-
like tinkering then.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, let me put it this way. I'm still I've still got don't get me wrong. I still have that goal of, just seeing what else is out there. And well, seems like there's a whole universe once we get rid of the dragon that I can explore.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be right back. I need to go for a moment. Yeah, I'll be right back. Feel free to keep role
Take
playing.
your
I'm
time.
just letting you know that, yeah.
Take your time. It's too much for Void to process, so you can see a little bit of smoke rising from his head.
You okay, big man?
Is he supposed to do that?
I'm okay. Just too much.
Should I go get some water or something? Are you alright?
I'm not sure that would be a good idea. I mean, maybe you should just go and sit in the corner for a bit.
Maybe get him some oil.
He's smoking. Won't that just make it worse?
The smoking slowly dims down. Just that he grinded his gears a little bit too much. No, I'm fine. I just had to think about it and kind of make it work in my subroutine. Also, water isn't bad for me because I was on a boat during my active time.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean-
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I mean,
we all got our problems somewhere.
I mean, again, let's be fair. This is quite a lot to take in, even for anyone. I mean, even I still haven't completely wrapped my head around the whole universe thing.
Yes, I can agree to that. And the smoke is finally gone.
But yeah, I mean, I guess since we're just kind of here talking about it, what do you guys think you'll all do once this is all over? I mean, I'll probably head back home, build up the business a bit more, and, well, like I said, explore more of the universe that's out there.
I probably would continue the legacy of my master. And maybe build up a shop like he would wanted to do in his older days when he wasn't ready anymore to go to the sea.
Hey, your tinkering know-how. Well, with your tinkering know-how there, you might be able to give Mercy a run for his money.
Hmm? Who is Mercy?
A friend of the group. He's more or less our supplier.
I see.
Dennis
about-
is still
Go ahead.
thinking, and he's like, well, maybe we could just give them the key anyway, and then when they find a solid surface, they can come and visit. Maybe?
Mm.
Even
It's,
I can tinker that.
I mean, we could bring it up, but not
I'm
entirely sure.
But
Hey, that-
Sorry.
But yeah, what do the rest of you reckon you'll do once we've wrapped up all of this?
Grisera thinks for a moment, and after a while, she decides, I think I'm going to retire from being a mercenary. I mean, I just got my parents back.
what gets us to the letter?
Cleaver
And
is
that
Cleaver is dead for good. And I don't have to worry about slavery. Being enslaved ever again.
Well, not on Mayhem, at least.
So while I still will hold my skills, I think I'll retire and take up blacksmithing with my mother.
I could honestly see that. I mean, you got the physique for it.
I could share a little bit of my knowledge to you if you want.
Yeah, there you go. You two could do a joint venture thing.
Kinda. It's up to her.
Well,
And
we're still. I've only just figured this out. So it's still in the drawing. It's still on the drawing board.
I mean, hey, plans change. That's the whole point of a thing. A plan. Well, that's the whole point of plans. They're meant to change.
Mine are pretty much set in my gears.
How about you, Rura?
Oh, well. She looks a little upset, but also thoughtful. I'm not really sure. Never really looked that far ahead.
Well, I mean, there's always my offer.
I know, and I think I might actually take you up on that offer for a little while. At least until I figure out what exactly I want to do. Because I guess I have an idea. I'm just not entirely sure I want to, I guess, think about it. Because of what it implies.
Well, I mean, some of us may live longer than others, but never be in a rush to, enjoy life.
Mm-hmm. She gives a contemplating look. That's the thing. I guess I've always been just doing what I was told, or doing certain things with the group, that I never actually figured out what I like to do besides just singing, I guess.
Well, why not do that?
Well, maybe. I never really enjoyed it very much because of how I was forced to do it. But, I mean, she gives a small shrug. She goes, I do like cooking for everybody.
Then become a cook.
Well, like I said, plans change. You don't have to decide right now. I figured I'd ask everyone, see what they reckon they would end up doing.
Grisura gives Rura a mischievous smirk. Or you could be a housewife and settle with a certain centaur here.
Huh? She looks surprised, her wings flaring out. I have no idea what you're talking about.
What is a centaur?
Four-legged for kind of like half human, half horse in a way.
Oh.
She's one of my friends. She's my bestest friend.
I was actually wondering, where is Adrasil?
Oh.
He's in one of the unmarked rooms doing something. Nondescript. Adrasil things.
We were just whining. She goes, I know my big sis isn't here, but please don't tease me, Grisura.
Grisura just chuckles.
I mean, Alex is the only one that knows what was in the second letter at this point. So he could totally,
Grisura
if
now
Alex
narrows her
wants
eyes
to.
at Grisura.
Wait,
And then she gives recalls before she goes, and what about those letters?
well, I'm not even sure if they're real.
One's
One
real.
was real, one was fake.
You want me to read the real one? Alex gives a shit-eating grin and pulls out the fake one.
No,
please.
don't.
Yes, please.
Grisura lunges at Alex. Don't you dare! Or you will be on your own on that fight, on the final battle.
Grisura holds up a hand. I want to see.
No!
I want to see too.
Alex is able to keep the letter away from Grisura.
Damn it, Alex, give him that back.
What do we say?
Would you like to do a reading, Alex?
Sure, why not? Pop it up. Could you pop it back up for me?
Sure, let me just get it back up.
Thank you.
Here
Are
it
you gonna
is.
try to stop him?
Yes, I'm gonna try and stop him.
Symbol.
Alright.
Alright, give me a second.
Alright.
There we go.
Alright. And he starts speaking. Grizzle Bear, the distance makes my heart ache. I must love you. Come to me so we may embrace and live together and have many elephant babies.
Rura looks very touched by that, and then she also gives a makeshift of a shit-eating grin at Grisera.
Grizzly
Are you sure you're talking about me and not yourself, Grisera?
Grizzly is red to the face, and she's like, "That's the fake letter."
Chester has no idea what's going on. He's so ignorant.
Chester
Wood
just
can only say he read out the fake one.
It's an elephant.
Oh, I think I have a picture book inside the library for you if you want to see what they look like.
Ooh, yes, please.
Yep, and just so you know, now these certain ones, especially the one that Grisera apparently has a crush on, who likes her back, are not quite the same, but this is a makeshift of what they look like. She starts to talk to Chester, leading her towards the library while giving Grisera one more grin before she disappears around the corner.
You give it, and you get it back. Never forget that.
I'm sorry, I missed that. What happened?
Basically, I called out your crush, and I gave you a grin before I walked away with Chester.
And then I said that if you try to dish out something, you should be sure that you can take it back.
I tried to lunge at Alex. He never said what role to do.
You missed.
So says the DM.
He's too fast for you.
Out of anger, Grisera casts a firebolt at Alex.
You miss.
He just
In your embarrassment.
he just limbos the shot.
Please don't destroy the table. That's where everybody eats at. Rura yells when she hears the sound of a magic or something going off. While she's showing Chester the picture book.
The heck
I've
was
been-
that?
No offense, Grisera, but I've been dodging firebolts and Eldritch Blasts long before I met any of you.
Grisera then remembers something and then has a shit-eating grin of her own. You know, as I recall, you told me in private about something you plan to ask Empire about?
He just grins back. Hell yeah.
No embarrassment at all.
Plan failed.
Grisera, me and Empire have spent our entire lives basically throwing that shit back at other people's faces whenever they made fun of us.
Yeah, you picked probably the worst target to try that on.
Good try though, but you do have a point. I really should tell her before we leave.
Grisera is just... She has enough, goes and snatches the letter, and she makes her way out. I'm gonna take the Eagle Dog to somewhere.
Alright, well, be sure to be back before noon.
There is a curfew, and if you don't, then Elnath will sit on you.
In what form?
Exactly.
I'll never sit on you in what form. Form grins evilly. Exactly.
But yeah, what time is it?
You don't know. You're inside a demiplane.
I think she was asking real life. Or is it?
We got about 30 minutes
Well,
left.
out of character. No. In game.
You don't know. You're in a demiplane.
Okay, I'll just. Zero saddles up her and Alex's eagle dog and takes him outside the demi-plane and just flips off Alex before taking off.
Eh.
Love you, sweetie. Bye-bye.
So you take off and start heading on your way to somewhere. Now, is anyone else heading off?
Is this what they call sass?
Yeah.
Huh.
But
I'm saying
Alex
no for
does.
my subroutine.
But Alex does say, actually, yeah. Now that she's gone and taken care of her thing, maybe I should try and find MP and myself to just get that sorted out before we leave.
Talk about ships.
Sorry, I had a coughing fit there. So you remember you remember MP was in your room. Did you go to your room?
Yep.
All right. So
And before he opens the door, he's ready for her.
all right. So as you open the door, you see the entire floor is covered in rose petals, and as is the bed, the heart-shaped bed, I might add, because you upgraded your bed.
Oh no.
And
We all
in
know
the
what's
center
gonna
of the bed, with a box of dragon chocolates in front of her, wearing a very revealing outfit, is Ampia, drooling in her sleep.
I'm crying.
Well, now. Alex just shrugs and says, "All right then," and closes the door.
Okay.
Oh my god.
But yeah, she's been waiting for like days to do that.
The box of dragon chocolates is half eaten. But yeah, he's taking care of that.
Yeah. So yeah, you eventually wake her up, and you know you guys start talking. Blah blah blah. Is there anything else anyone wants to do?
Nope.
Not really, no.
Okay. So, Desdemona, you head towards somewhere to meet up with,
Hold on, Desdemona?
Whoops.
Derp.
Deserve it.
oh, sorry.
Brain fart.
Yeah, I couldn't even think. So, Errol, do you remember what? No, you guys wouldn't know what map he was on. Roadside, maybe? No, I don't think it was roadside. Give me a second, I gotta find their, campsite.
It was like a grassy path.
Even if it's not that, it could be one of these ones that I never... Okay. I'm just looking through them now. It should be this one, I think. Aha! Yes, I found it. First one I tried. I'm that amazing. Not really.
Hey.
Okay. I'm just setting up the camp now for you. Whoop. And then I want to delete... I'll just move all your tokens to up. Because only, Uzura is visiting. Oof, I'm not well. Okay, push. And there you go. They've camped just up the road from somewhere. They're actually off the road this time,
I
but
got a black.
What?
Oh, never mind.
What?
I was just gonna say I had a black screen for a second, but it cleared up.
Yeah, it was loading.
Yeah. Anyway,
Jesus, this takes a while for me to load.
Just give me a second.
That's okay.
Alright. So, you arrive and you find them at the camp, actually off the road this time so they don't impede traffic. What do? Errol's your character, so I'll let you control what happens here. Okay?
yeah. So Grisura lands like sometime a bit away from, like around here from the Loxodons. And as soon as she has the eagle dogs settled, she slowly starts walking to the camp where she is noticed by Errol. And seeing her, he goes up to her. Out of character, do you want me to voice Errol or what?
Yeah, I said he's your character. You control him.
Anyway, so Errol, seeing Grisura, makes his way to her, and he has a surprised look on his face. You're here. Grisura nods and says, "Yeah, I got a letter from you. Though, considering who delivered it, I'm still not sure if it's the real one. But you said you wanted a rematch? And Errol swallows hard. Yes. I wish to show you my prowess as a fellow warrior." Even Grisura can see that he's actually pretty nervous about this. Breathing in a sigh, Grisura readies herself. Ready to test it out. Johnson readies himself in a wrestling stance. I am whenever you are ready. And this would be like a contested strength check.
Alright, let me roll for Errol for you.
Alright, I'll roll for Grisura.
Let's see. He is under... Here should be... Did I leave him under strangers? No. Other best friends. Maybe if I just push. I love having tokens set up properly. He rolled a 13.
So, even as he uses his strength, Grisura manages to grab his large arm and throws him about right here, a good couple of feet, smashing him right into a tree. Seeing what she did, Grisura cringes and approaches Errol. Are you okay? And at this point, Grisura is nervous because A, she actually likes this guy, and B, she was afraid she might have really hurt him. But to Grisura's surprise, Errol started laughing. And this leaves Grisura confused. What? What's so funny? Even after all of my training, I still cannot best you. Are the mightiest warrior I have ever come across. This causes a crimson blush to appear on Grisura's face. But are you hurt at all? Errol rubs his head. Well, maybe a slight concussion. But he then looks to the tree. I think we should get away from this tree. And sure enough, as they moved out of the way, the tree fell over with a loud crash. The tree just sorry, I'm just laughing at this. Seeing that the two looked at each other and both of them started laughing. And afterwards, they started talking for a while. Grisura informs Errol about what's been going on and the issue with the astral dragon, and that they're getting ready for the largest battle they have ever faced. Hearing this, Errol's ears lowered in sadness. Must you really travel through time to save us all? Grisura nods and leans back against the fallen tree. We kinda have to. If not, well. And it's at that moment that Errol shyly gives Grisura something. Upon an inspection, it's revealed to be the broken piece of Errol's tusk, carved in with beautiful designs. Looking at Errol, Grisura could see that while he's looking to the side, his face is crimson. It is a tradition in my herd that if a bull finds a female that he wishes to be his, he presents her with a piece of his trunk, of his tusk. And, well, I've been thinking about you ever since the day we met, and Grisura blush grows as he finally gets the point. The point is, I want you to be my wife.
And that is
You-
where we will end it.
Yes, please.
Oh my god.
Hold it.
All the ships.
I'm
So-
I'm tired, but I am so happy.
Is there
Followers of
anything-
Mayhem. Getting late episode.
Yeah.
Is
Sorry.
is there anything else you guys would like to do before we wrap up this session?
Nah.
There was one thing I wanted to do in the demi-plane between Kagura and Nami.
Sure. Vroom. And now you are in the demi-plane.
Again.
Right, so Kagura notices Nami sulking in the corner,
Super
and
quick.
he
Ruru,
Huh?
if you need to go sleep, you can. We're just wrapping up here. You can watch the rest later.
I'll stay for a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright, continue.
Kagura sees Nami sulking in the corner. He kneels down in front of her and says, "What's wrong?" "Fluffy King is mad. Fluffy Princess is scared of me." "Well, for starters, you could probably try not calling us Fluffy King and Fluffy Princess." "But you're both fluffy." "That doesn't matter. You're talking to us as though we're just pets to be cuddled." "Well, but we're not. We're people like you, and you should talk to us like people. Just talk to us like you would Alex and the others. You can do that, can't you?" You won't be mad, and she won't be scared anymore?" I'm sure. Well, I'll certainly stop getting mad if you stop calling me Fluffy King, and I'm sure Emerald will come to like you. If you spoke to her like you would talk to another child. Okay. I'll try. I'll try, Kagura. That's good. Kagura offers his hand, and Nami takes it, and he helps her stand up. Now, I think you owe my sister an apology. For scaring her? Yes. Okay. One last thing, though. Kagura grabs both sides of Nami's hood and Kagura grabs Nami's hood and takes it off of her head, and showing that she has long purple hair. And then he tells her, keep your hood off. You'll look more inviting that way." "You think so?" "Yes." "Oh, okay. She looks at her right arm and take part of the bandages off to check. Lala?
Sorry, it took me a second to register that you were asking me. Your skin has in fact filled with color once again.
My arm. It's normal. And your face? She reluctantly reaches into the bandages is covering her left side of her face and pulls them up slightly and asks, "Well?"
They're also normally colored. Your skin has finished regaining its color.
You have beautiful eyes, Nami. My eye is back to normal? Along with everything else. You're fully human again. She happily tears the bandages off her face and hugs Kagura. I'm human again. See what? The others didn't let you down. They got you what you you got what you were looking for thanks to them. Now, about my sister. I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to talk to her now. Okay then, let's go. And
Well-
that's it.
You try to talk to her, but you find that she's asleep. It will have to wait until later.
Oh. Well, we'll try again tomorrow. All right.
With that, we call this session to a close. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
See ya.
See ya.
Darkest fear.